He is very happy with his family, which includes his wife and children. He claims that, in addition to my own children, I have adopted 2 children, one of whom is the daughter of my old companion, who was murdered shortly after giving birth to her. There is also another human child. Because humans came to live on this planet, where I am now, a few years ago, but when they returned to Earth, this child remained, and he has been with me ever since. All of these kids enjoy playing with each other and look out for one another. Jake teaches all of his children everything, including archery and fishing. They are all happy, big and small, but one night Jake and his wife see a shining white star in the sky. So, as he gets closer, he realizes that this is a human spaceship returning to their beautiful world. The fire from the human spaceship starts a fire in the jungle, killing many animals and causing extensive damage. Humans emerge from it, who had been sitting inside the large robots. They also had very large cars, which crushed everything in their path. While Jake and his wife have no choice but to cry after witnessing this devastation. I'm not sure when humans will become human. Anyway, the lab is now shown, where a blue-colored man, who resembles Jake and his family, loses control and begins killing those around him. While being controlled, he is informed that he is our colonel and that he is human. We created such a body for you after your death using modern technology, and you will be able to live on this planet as a result. You won't look like the people on this planet, so don't worry. Similarly, many people are given such bodies, as evidenced by the crowds gathered around the colonel. Jake and his companions, on the other hand, destroy their train in order to stop the humans carrying their weapons and food. These people were on the flying creatures themselves, and after destroying human helicopters, they looted their belongings. When the colonel learns of Jake's impending death, he intends to murder him. Because Jake is the shipwrecked people's leader. Jake and those who resemble him are referred to as the shipwrecked people. These are the people who live in the jungles and were responsible for the train attack. However, the colonel's senior officer informs him that every time we send ships into Jake's jungle, their flying creatures destroy them. You are our hope, you can do something. So the colonel walks with some of his companions in the jungle, where Jake's children were playing. He sees humans coming towards him and tells his father, but at the same time, he catches the human. In a short while, Jake's wife reaches there and shoots an arrow through a human's head. The fight begins between the two. Jake's wife saves her other children, but the colonel picks up his son and takes him with him. Who is a human-shaped child, whom he had also adopted. Jake's wife was so concerned about her child that Jake informed her that we would have to leave the jungle. I'm the boss around here, and the colonel is right behind me. Because I was the one who killed the colonel when the first humans arrived here. He now wants to kill me because he has resurrected in Neytiri or Abator. If I, you, and our entire family leave here, we will be able to save the rest of our tribe's lives. Because our kidnapped child will soon tell us where we live and when humans will arrive. Jake's wife is reluctant to accompany him, but eventually agrees. Humans, on the other hand, are torturing Jake's child and demanding his home address. But he is brave and remains silent. Sometimes the colonel comes up to him and stops him, telling him that he is a human. So we'll treat him like a human. He extends a friendly hand to him and informs him that he is his true father. And the last time I came to the world, I purposefully left you behind. Because I didn't want to drag you along with me. But now I have a feeling, and I'm going to take you with me. That innocent child agrees to show you the location. Jake and his family, on the other hand, leave their tribe and fly away from here on their flying creatures. At the very least, they will have a new place to live somewhere. These people reach the ships because they live near the water. The people who live here are from this planet, but they appear green. In the beginning, these water ships mock them. They say their tail is thin, their arms are thin, and so on. Sometimes the leader of the water people appears and informs you that you are a jungle dweller. You don't need water here. You have no idea how to survive in water. But Jake responds that we will find out everything very soon. And I need you people for my family, so that they can live safely here. See that the watership leader agrees and also allows them to live. The children living there take Jake's children around the following day, while Jake's son makes a connection between his hair and a creature there. As a result, he quickly floats in the water. As a result, he falls, and everyone around him begins to laugh. The next day, some of the kids there label Jake's daughter as insane. Furthermore, they misbehave with him. They are extremely bothersome to him. Then Jake's other children arrive. And then they start killing that annoying child. Why did you say this to our sister? When Jake discovers the truth, he begins chastising his own son. Why did you kill him? He is the leader's son. Go apologize to him. The son of the leader was still angry when he went to apologize. And he wished to betray him. He desired vengeance. He says, I'll take you to a good place. He leads him into the deep water, where once lived a dangerous monster. He goes there and abandons him. And he returns from there. And a swift monster emerges from the water to attack him. As a result, he begins to drown. And the monster continues to attack and devour him. Both are directly in front of each other. That's when the biggest monster appears. This forces the small monster into its mouth and slams it hard against the stone, and murders him there. Meanwhile, Jake's son is struggling to breathe in the water. And then it stops. As soon as he opens his eyes, he realizes that the largest water monster has saved his life. He's lying on top of it. This boy notices that the monster is also severely injured. So he takes some weapons from his body and grants him peace. That makes them friends. And the monster abandons the boy and his family. When the leader of the Green Tribe discovers the truth, that his own son purposefully left our guest to die near the monster, he begins punishing him. But Jake's son claims that your son is not at fault. It was my idea to dive into the deep water. I only stated that we would go there. When he sees this, the leader's son is embarrassed. That he saved me. I didn't do anything wrong. I wanted to kill him. Seeing this, he now becomes a heartfelt friend. Jake's son claims that the big monster saved my life. And all of his friends begin to mock him. Nobody believes him. The next day, he returns to the same large monster. And then he goes and has a great time. They have a lot of fun with each other. Jake was still missing, according to the colonel. That's when he learned something. Where Jake and his family can go. However, no specific information was available. That's why he needed to find more. The colonel also had command of some of the flying creatures. Those creatures were used by the locals. Everyone goes in search of Jake and arrives at an island where people say we've never been. Whose picture are you showing us? The colonel believes that everything is a lie. So he kills one of these people's creatures. The colonel's son explains everything to him. That these people know nothing. All they do is catch fish. Leave them alone. They are completely clueless. The colonel also agrees with his son. But the cruel man continues to go there. He starts a fire and destroys their home. He travels to different locations in this manner and begins killing a large number of innocent people. He has a lot of questions for you. But by this point, he has no idea where Jake has gone. Similarly, all of these people see a water creature. They attack it with an iron chain, as well as some small missiles. In addition, they use an ultrasonic gun to attack it. As a result, the monster is unable to attack humans. And humans can easily catch it. That poor monster is floating around with his child, which has never caused harm to humans. But he was in discomfort. And he is eventually killed there. His small child wanders around, calling out to him. And humans were happily clapping shamefully. That he was successful in his mission. The colonel's son is in a lot of pain after witnessing all of this. Because he was worried about all these animals. And he was not going to put up with the impending cruelty. Humans capture the creature and bring it with them. They go inside his mouth and use a drill machine to drill a hole in the upper part of his mouth, from which a yellow liquid is emitted, which is such a water that whoever drinks it will grow old slowly. That is, he will have a long life. And he is not going to die soon. This liquid is also priced in crores of dollars, which he intends to sell in the market and profit handsomely. The captives see the dying monster creature the next day. They then start saying negative things about Jake. Because of you, humans have arrived. And now they are killing our creatures. And we'll be there soon. So whatever happened. According to the Green Navy's commander, we will compete with humans. After some time, Jake's son returns to meet the biggest monster. And sees that there is a device like an anchor on it. As a result, the device had stopped the monster there. And he couldn't move from there. Because humans intend to slaughter more monsters in order to obtain that liquid. And this time it's Jake's son's big monster's turn. Which is also quite large in size. A lot of liquid can also come out of it. That is why humans are now attempting to exterminate this monster. His son and the others are also present. While humans progress in this direction, the colonel notices these children as well. Jake and the leader learn that their children are in jeopardy. They take up their weapons and flee to save them. The children remove the device from the big monster with great difficulty. As a result, the monster takes flight and flees. And then his life is saved. However, humans continue to chase the children while firing. The leader's daughter is about to die here. So Jake's son takes her hand in his and turns towards him, saving her life. But after a short time, he drapes a large net over the children and captures them. And takes them aboard his ship. The parents of the children also come here for a while. That means Jake comes to a halt and looks around. That the colonel has his children bound in front of the ship. If you want to save the children's lives, the colonel says, then you'll arrive on the ship by yourself. So Jake decides to go it alone for the sake of everyone. That's why Jake's son's best friend is a creature. Suddenly emerges from the water and boards their ship. And a stick and his hands. He begins killing the people who are present. And everything is being annihilated. Seeing this, Jake and the leader's people are given an opportunity. That they attack people. And all those people start heading towards the ship. There is a lot of conflict between humans and these newcomers. Many people are also killed. There were also some new faces. And then there's the water creature. Jumping from a small human ship. He kills them by pressing them with an iron rope. Jake visits the children while competing against humans. And then gets them out of there. Some children discover their biological brother. And then run away to save their lives. However, Jake's only son is killed during this time. And seeing all of this makes his mother's heart race. And begins to scream and cry. The colonel apprehends Jake's two children once more. And those people are expecting Jake to arrive and save them. And seeing this, we will murder him. Jake arrives very quietly and makes a blast. As a result, there is fire everywhere. Many people are also killed. His wife also kills a lot of people with her arrow. And murders a human by displaying angry eyes. Because he recently lost his son. His eyes were hurting. The colonel seizes the opportunity and places a knife around Jake's daughter's neck. And instructs them to lay down their weapons. During that time, Jake's wife arrives and slashes the Colonel's son's throat with a knife. As a result, the Colonel is forced to abandon his daughter. Now finally, there is a hand-to-hand fight between the Colonel and Jake. Jake kills the Colonel by strangling his throat after much difficulty. Finally, this cruel Colonel begins to drown. However, the Colonel's son saves him and brings him to the water. Because the Colonel saved his life after Jake's wife threatened him with a knife. "Come with me, son," when the Colonel says so. Then he becomes enraged and returns to his family. To Jake, that is. Jake's family is overjoyed to see this as well, and still adores him. Jake then buries his dead son in the water. And he was remembering everything old at the time. "That is my son, who died today. When he was born, I picked him up in my hands. And I'm burying it with my own hands today." This concludes the film story. Please subscribe our channel, like and share. Thanks for watching.